Good morning, dear students. We are going to discuss connective tissue. It's one of the chapters what we have in histology under general histology. So, what are we going to learn under this chapter? We'll see a part of introduction. We'll see what are the various cells which form the connective tissue. We have cells like mesenchymal cells, fibroblasts, adipocytes, melanocytes, macrophages, plasma cells, and leukocytes. So most of these cells you should have also learned when you were doing blood chapter in physiology. We have fibers in connective tissue like collagen fibers, reticular fibers, and elastic fibers. Ground substance, we will see what are the various types of connective tissue, and we will also see the applied aspects. Now, connective tissue. What is it? It is basic tissues which gives structural and metabolic support to other tissues and organs throughout the body. So throughout the body, whatever background tissue we have, whatever is giving support to our various organs and tissues of our body, that basic foundation tissue is nothing but the connective tissue. See, the main components are, we have different cells as you can see here. See, this is whole picture shows connective tissue where we have different types of cells. We have outside this background area looks white, which is nothing but the extracellular matrix. We have these cells are actually responsible for the synthesis of the extracellular matrix. Okay. Now, based on the amount of fibers and background substance, the consistency of connective tissue will differ, based on which we are going to classify them as like loose connective tissue, dense connective tissue, and all. Okay. So the extracellular matrix is made up of these fibers. As you can see, there are different types of fibers we will discuss now, and this background white area is nothing but the ground substance. So hence connective tissue, it has cells, fibers, and ground substance. Now, the functions are, it provides structural support. The connective tissue provides structural support. It serves as a medium for exchange. It also helps in defense and protection of the body. And it is a place where the fat is stored. Okay. Then, now let us elaborate on each of the component of connective tissue. We will start with cells first. The various types of cells we have are fibroblasts. Okay. Then we have plasma cells, adipose cell, large lymphocyte, macrophage, fibrocyte, eosinophil, neutrophil, cell with pigment granules, small lymphocyte, and mast cells. So from macrophages, lymphocyte, eosinophil, neutrophil, and all these cells what you have seen, most of them except fibroblasts, fibrocyte, and adipose cells, the remaining all cells we generally see as the components of blood, right? You have studied in the chapter blood in physiology. The same thing you try to recollect now, though I will be elaborating everything. Whether you study in this subject or that subject, always you have to remember the concept of each subject so that you can apply whether it is asked in anatomy or physiology. Okay. Then, now cells of connective tissue, let us elaborate. First of all, we have mesenchymal cells. So mesenchymal cells, like the ones which are stained in purple violet color here, darker ones. So this is embryonic connective tissue, mesenchyme. We find mesenchymal cells. Okay, they form loose network and they look like star-shaped cells, like stellate cells they are called. So mesenchymal cells are precursors. That means these are the cells which help in the formation of other type of cells. Hence they are called as precursors of most of the connective tissue. Okay. Now fibroblasts. So most numerous cells of connective tissue. So they are fusiform or spindle in shape with slender processes, and the nucleus is large and it is euchromatic and it has prominent nucleolus. Okay. So this fibroblast is the cell which is actually responsible for the formation of extracellular matrix. Generally, the main fibers, those are the collagen fibers and ground substance. Okay, it is synthesized by the fibroblast. Once the fibroblast does its function, it becomes old and it becomes inactive. So the inactive fibroblasts are now called as fibrocytes. Okay. So fibroblasts with contractile properties are known as myofibroblasts, and they are generally seen in the sites of wound healing. Now coming to adipocyte, they are also called as fat cells or lipocytes. So adipocytes, they generally synthesize and store fat. They are spherical in shape. Okay, cytoplasm, actually it forms a thin layer just to the deep to the cell membrane or the plasma membrane. Towards the margin only, we will see the cytoplasm. Nucleus is pushed towards the periphery. Okay, and it gives signet ring appearance. That means whole of the middle area, the cytoplasm area, is actually loaded with fat droplets. Okay, that's how the plasma, actually the cytoplasm is pushed towards the periphery. In the center, a lipid droplet is there, and nucleus is pushed towards the periphery. Okay, that's how whole cell is filled with lipid. And moreover, during the process of this general staining of H&E, usually you will see the fat is getting leaked outside during the process of staining. When we make use of alcohol, when we make use of heat and all, you will see the fat leaking out of these adipose sites. Okay, hence they look empty in H&E staining. In order to see this lipid droplet, we usually use special stains. Okay, so we have certain red colored stains used, okay, to stain these fat cells. Okay. Then coming to the other type of cells, we have pigment cells, melanocytes. So pigment cells or melanocytes are star-shaped cells. They have many processes, and they produce melanin pigment. And these melanocytes we find in the skin and iris. They prevent light from reaching the other cells. Now, after that, we have macrophages. They are also called as histiocytes. They are very much irregular in shape with many phylopodial or the pseudopodial processes. The nucleus is usually eccentric. That means it is moving like it is pushed to one periphery. Okay, and it is kidney shaped as you can see here. So basically, macrophages are nothing but they are matured monocytes. So basically in the blood we have monocytes. Suppose if there is any infection or inflammation, the size of monocytes become quite big, and now they are modified as macrophages. So they play an important role in the defense of the body by phagocytosis of foreign particles. That means they help in killing of microorganism. That's how they protect us from various diseases. Got it? Then, so after macrophages, we have plasma cells. So plasma cells are small and round basophilic cytoplasm. They are derived from B lymphocytes. They have eccentric nucleus. That means nucleus is pushed to one side. Okay, and this nucleus has clumps of chromatin, as you can see in this picture. This round one. Okay, and it looks like a cartwheel. That's how the nucleus is given a name, like it has cartwheel appearance. So the function of these plasma cells are it produces antibodies against antigen and involved in the defense of the body. Antibodies may be stored within the cell in the form of inclusion bodies. They are called as Russell's bodies. Sometimes we may find those bodies inside the plasma cells. Then we have mast cells, also called as histaminocytes, because they are the cells which release this histamine basically during the process of any injury or inflammation. Okay, they look small, round, or fusiform in shape. Nucleus is round and central, and cytoplasm contains many granules, which gives metachromatic appearance. It releases histamine found along small blood vessels. Okay, then leukocytes. So nucleated white blood cells may migrate to connective tissue from blood vessels through a process called diapedesis. Important for defense of the body. So we have granular leukocytes, neutrophils, eosinophils, and basophils. We have mononuclear leukocytes like lymphocytes and monocytes. Okay, you can see like this is a blood film where you can see the RBCs which do not have nucleus. We have a lymphocyte which is the WBC. We have neutrophil. Okay, Then let us, once we are done with cells, we are now let us see what are the various types of fibers we have. So fibrillar protein are of mainly two types. We have collagen fibers and reticular fibers, okay, and elastin fibers. So different directions you are now. See, let us elaborate each one now. The one which is shown in like with the blue arrow and in the bundles you are finding. So these pink bundles, whatever we have thick bundles over here, those are all collagen fibers. So these are the main fibers which are synthesized by fibroblasts. They are found in abundance in most of the connective tissue. As you can see, they are seen in bundles. They may be either straight or wavy. So usually they are staining light pink in color. It gives tensile strength to the connective tissue which helps in stretching. It is secreted in the form of tropocollagen and shows striations. You can see few striations like you see for skeletal muscle fibers, striations would be there. Similarly here. So about 27 different types of collagen fibers are identified. Okay, few of them we will discuss now. See the collagen fibers type 1, the hardest one we usually found. Try to remember bone, it becomes easy. Found in most of the connective tissue, bone, cartilage, fascia, ligaments and skin. So wherever strength is required, we have a tough collagen fiber bundles. Those are type 1. Type 2 collagen fibers are thin comparatively and they are seen in hyaline cartilage, vitreous of eye, nucleus pulposus of intervertebral disc. Type 3 collagen fibers, they form reticular fibers, and type 4 in basal lamina of basement membrane, lens capsule and glomerulus of kidney. Type 5 in placental membrane. Then we have reticular fibers, then thinner and form a delicate framework in many organs. Non-banded form of collagen 3 they are. They are stained by special stains like silver stains which gives them black color as you can see here. They form supporting network around nerve fibers, smooth muscles and fat cells. So reticular scaffolding is seen in spleen, lymph node, bone marrow, liver and endocrine glands. After that we have like you are finding darker like little black in color. These fibers are elastin fibers. They are comparatively, if you look here, they are fewer than collagen fibers. They run singly, core of hydrophobic protein elastin surrounded by fibrillin. So synthesized again by fibroblasts, they give elasticity to the tissues and allows them to recoil after stretching. Okay, so fibers are quite strong and they can stretch up to 150 degrees of the relaxed state. They stain dark brown with orsin and blue with toluidine blue. Okay, so if you use orsin stain, they like these elastin fibers are stained brown in color, and if you use toluidine stain, yeah, the fibers take blue color. Okay, so these elastin fibers we find in blood vessels, lung tissue, interalveolar septa, ligamentum flava, and vocal cords. Okay. So now let us come to the collagen substance. So background substance, sorry. So this ground substance, as you can see here, this whitish like ground substance. So ground substance is holding everything. It is holding cells, it is holding collagen fibers, elastin fibers, reticular fibers if they are present, isn't it? Okay, so everything, whether whatever type of cells we have studied, they are all suspended in ground substance. So ground substance, this background white area, it's an amorphous transparent material of semi-fluid gel. It has polysaccharide chains forming glycosaminoglycans. They are actually made up of hyaluronic acid without a sulfate group around. Okay, without sulfate ground group. The others with sulfate group are chondroitin sulfate, dermaton sulfate, heparin sulfate, keratin sulfate. Okay, only in hyaluronic acid we do not have sulfate. So structural glycoproteins like laminin, fibronectin, integrins, entactin, tenacin link cells with extracellular matrix. So that is all about the introduction of connective tissue, and these are the books which we have used. So basic book you can follow, that is IBSIN. The other Jankveria and Diffures are usually reference books. Okay, so that's it. And in the next class, like a separate lecture. You have types of connective tissue which you can just see. So thank you.